calling you a radical. I'm going to do a bunch of series of videos on this. This has got me so pissed. This is on New York Times, CNN. Scientists have solved the mystery, what's killing the salmon. Now, I'm going to completely... This so-called scientist with federal grants should be locked up and put in prison. This is not science. This is crackpot bullshit. This chemical from a tire is doing... Now, I'm going to debunk it. This is what a real scientist, Kevin Blanch, a real scientist. Look, stay with me. Number one, let's go back on the salmon. They're saying from 2000 till present collapse, which is a total fallacy, lie. You can look it up. I'll present the fucking data. Army Corps Engineers uses sonar on the mouth of the Columbia River. Tracks every single salmon, size, number. Very well reported. ODFW, Oregon reports it. University of Washington reports it. Salmon numbers. Read my lips. Record returns in 2012, 13, 14, 15. You can Google it. All time, over 1 million returning Chinook, coho, steelhead. All time record returns in 2013, 14, 15. Then all of a sudden, whoop, in science, a real scientist like Kevin Blanch, who's done all this incredible work. Of course I'm going to get no funny because they're protecting the nuclear energy crimes. It's shiny ballism. It's, oh, there's a monolith in Utah. Now there's one in Romania. Now I want you a Bigfoot. It's total, this is crackpot science, and these people should be locked up. This is, well, black and yellow journalism from hell. Stay with me. So they had a historic collapse in 2016. So the numbers were trending giant. Escapement, all-time record escapement numbers were trending higher and higher and higher. That escapement, that's how many little fish make it, the little small fries. Look, coho salmon, Chinook salmon, steelhead, they live in the Pacific Ocean. You go talk to ODFW. You go talk to NOAA right now. NOAA to Kevin Blanch. Well, what about this radiation, this fallout from Fukushima in the Pacific Ocean? Not our job. Now, stay with me. This is the smoking gun absolute proof. This is a scam sham. Now, why would CNN put this? Why would CNN not report Fukushima when Anderson Cooper and Sanjay Gupta were there? Should we get out? Should we get out? They're reporting boots on the ground every day. Then they come home. I mean, they report Fukushima, they said 10 million times in the first 2 weeks. They were boots on the ground. Since they got home, they haven't mentioned one word. Well, Sanjay Gupta did on Sanjay Gupta MD, a practicing neurosurgeon. I've run this by my uncle, who's a practicing famous neurosurgeon. I asked him, is this against the Hippocratic Oath, what he did? Well, it's a hypocrite oath now. He says, it's criminal. Sanjay Gupta on Sanjay Gupta MD, 2 weeks after Fukushima. He says, when he gets home, won't mention Fukushima, he puts on this fake doctor, this fake artist from Michigan. I went to Chernobyl. It's all good. Nuclear radiation. I was an 11-year-old girl. I mean, that's a Freudian freaking pseudo-de facto stick to Sudoku. Folding paper cranes. Oh, radiation's, I mean, it's a total sham. Now, stay with me. So, the salmon, now, we know that Chinook and coho salmon started to collapse immediately in 2011, 2012. The steelhead, the half-pounders, they go to, half-pounders, the first cycle home. They come home twice. They go to sea 1 to 2 years. 2012, 2013, they immediately started to collapse. Boom, 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 boom. Scientists were mystified, they're baffled, they're puzzled, they're stumped, they're perplexed, they're bewildered. I says, okay, everybody's arguing with me. Fishermen, everybody's going crazy. You're crazy, Kevin Blanch. We have record Chinook salmon. I says, Chinook salmon go to sea for average of 5 years. Wait till 2016. ODFW, WFW, know all their boys and all their models who have been refined for decades are very, very accurate. Now stay with me. This is an important historical video. Get it backed up. In 2015, they had 1.46 million returning Chinook salmon. Okay? 2016 projected of 1.7 million. All of them were right on the number 1.7 million. I projected 680,000 because I ran regression. I plugged in the Fukushima dynamic and I used my modeling, the Kevin Blanch matrix, which is historic and famous. It should be. I set my model at 680,000. They come in at 688,000. Whoa. They come out, we're bewildered, we're baffled. That's called an outlier in science. That's radical. That's crazy. Well, that's just, 1 year. Next year, they set their models at 2.3 million based on escapement, based on everything. Very accurate. Kevin Blanch set his at 480,000. Bloop, come in at 400. Once his luck, twice his skill. Okay. Third year, we're up to 2018. They set their models at 2.1 million. All of them. I set mine at 333,000. Bloop comes in at 338,000. Once his luck, twice his skill, third time is recorded history. Bloop, they're like, oh my God, Mr. Fight buzzled, pappled, freaked out, we don't know, we're going crazy. Okay? This is real science. This crackpot study that's all over federally funded is bullshit. They get all the money, I get shit. This is outrageous. It's disgusting. I mean, it's criminal as hell. What does it matter with the New York Times? What does it matter with CNN? To their own death. This is real science. This is the greatest PhD probably in human history I've done. Okay, let's forward to the next year. 330. We're 2019 by now. I set my model at 400,000, then I cut it in half to 220,000. This is when they pulled the gill netting. So gill netting takes half. I've talked to, we have Tim Martin, Boots on Lifetime, most famous guide in all of Oregon. Tim Martin works with Kevin Blanch every day. Every day. World record holder caught the biggest steelhead in the history of the country. He caught it in 2010. It's unarguable. I mean, boots on the ground, doing the work, right there. So he says it takes out half. You can freaking double or cut numbers in half. So I set my number at 220,000. They completely stopped all gill netting. He says, so you have to double the number. They take out half all the fish. Okay, what did they do? They came in right on my number again. This year, same thing. Right on my number again. This, so we know, we've had enough data now that we know they're what we call an outliner. You can run regression. You scientists, get your computer models out and run regression on the Oregon fish model. Use NOAA's data, use Oregon Fish and Game's data, and this is just on the Columbia, which they classified Kevin Blanch. You can look it up. It's a fact. I got classified. I talked to ODFW. You know, everybody used to laugh. They don't laugh at me anymore. On the Rogue, on these Klamath, we've had boots on the ground. We've been there, right there, the Post-Ignorance Army. There's no fish returning. They lied and said there were going to be 400-some thousand when there ended up being 3,000. This is a catastrophe. No, ODFW comes out right now and admits they're dying in the ocean. Yet this bullshit study, now granted, I'll give it all the toxins that are running off. It's not good. We know that, but we know this is an outlier. This is real science. This is unarguable proof. It's called an outlier. So we know something radically happened in 2011. That's unarguable. Run your regression. You'll deviate from the mean 10 million times. Your computer will have smoke coming out of it. So we know unarguable factually. Tide pools collapse. Coincidence. Oh, no. Coincidence don't get it. This study's bullshit. Shiny ballism. So this is fact. It's unarguable smoking gun proof, Kevin Blanch. Probably the greatest scientist in modern history. Fukushima, you know. So we have to start searching for the culprit. In 2011, something happened to our Pacific Ocean. Something radical. Something crazy. Okay, did a meteor hit? Did we have some kind of 15 different Exxon Valdez? No. We had multiple nuclear meltdowns at Fukushima, Japan, that they decided to dump water and push into the Pacific Ocean. It's unarguable science. Unarguable science! Not mystified, proof, baffled. This study is total bullshit because they're saying 2,000 decline. They don't tell you that there was a major increase, that ODFW, WFW escapement rates increased radically in between 2000 and 2015. Major freaking improvement in escapement. They fixed the freaking pumps. They got the oxygen. They got the netting problem all handled. Record escapement. They don't tell you that part. They'll say, they'll do this. Okay, they were down at 2,000 because they had problems in the hatcheries. So they went like, they don't tell you it increased, then collapsed. They're just ignoring that big increase. That's not science. In fact, that's fraud. That's fraud. That's fraud. That is scientific fraud that people should go to prison for. What I've done is scientific, unarguable proof. I do the work while full of cancer, and I don't get any federal funding. I don't get any backing. Universities blackball me, this incredible ongoing PhD, probably the most historic that I've had to rely on private people to freaking fund it, which I don't even know how I've done it. Not to mention my tide pool work. Not to mention my freaking, all the other work that I've done. What a freaking unbelievable. Talk about the modern day Tesla. So, you know, back this video up, and you can squash my view count, and you can all run. This is the greatest event in human history. It's unarguable proof. It's Fukushima. Stay tuned.